All right. So about 8 to 10 years ago, I had this idea that it basically came from Magneto. You put project an image, and like, almost like in somebody's mind, and say if you're DJing, this is where the post came. Say you were a DJ, and you had a crowd in front of you, and you wanted those people to have the most grateful, outgoing, energetic, unbelievable experience of their life. They're gonna come into the club, and they're gonna start dancing to the music. As soon as they get into rhythm, boom, you're gonna hit them with a frequency, and it's literally gonna put a mental projection into their mind through the electrical current in the brain. And they're gonna see, and you're gonna say, "Let the floor drop, boom!" And as soon as you go boom, it puts the image into their mind that the floor actually fell out from underneath of them. So, like I said, it's about 8, 10 years ago, and I've been trying to learn up on it. So, your body, it's basically like a computer chip, and a memory bank at the same time. So, as I'm learning it, there's been more and more applications being brought out. So, at the time learning it, I didn't really have access to internet and information like this before. It was pretty much just like, hey, whatever I could come up with off the top of my head. Now that I actually have the time to spend and actually figure out, hey, how this chains into this and chains into this and chains into this, now I'm starting to realize, hey, these little, experiments that I'm doing and stuff like that actually are making sense. So where I'm getting at is, you got like a light field, okay? Well, in that light field, you have particles, just like that right there. You got a little photon right there. Well, that photon has an energy source. Well, with energy source, just like that hydrogen collider, okay, they're colliding the atoms, okay? Well, if they're able to collide an atom, what's to say that you can't change that into that and speed it up a lot faster? Just like if you're going to super spin, like a tornado. If you're going to spin the air, then the air becomes a tornado, and you can see that tornado, but you can't normally see the air. If that tornado goes over the water, now it's sucking up the water, Well, you change the air into a plasma. Now, the interesting about the plasma is that's the same thing that they use in that super collider. Now what happens when you speed up that particle energy? Boom. So if I were to have like a pendulum swinging, and you see it in all classical movies where the hero is trying to get through an obstacle, and then there's that swinging pendulum, and he's got to time it just right so he can go underneath that pendulum. What if that pendulum is spinning so damn fast that you can't go through it? Because there is a speed that which you're not going to be able to pass that pendulum, because it's swinging so fast that you can't pass through it. And we all know that little theory: if you get a light, and then you spin it, or get a car and drive it around the earth so fast that it, at the speed of light, you won't be able to see it no more. So you got a resonating energy, just like that photon does. Now, if you look at the Earth's atmosphere, plasma, okay? Sun, plasma. All right. So now we got a reflecting mirror onto here. So you would reflect that light, okay? Just like things reflect onto here. So now, if you were to have that light and that light, you'd have this and that together. So when those two lines meet, you would have that reflection here. Should I get into that? And then that one. See how they're out there? Should I get it just right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So when the two actually meet, you can create almost like a field. Alright. Like a force field, literally. So, ice, okay? Solid state of hydrogen oxygen molecule is ice. Now we're bringing it to the state to, hey, now we're solidifying the actual air around us. So literally, just like putting up a cloak, but it's controlled by a laser. Another thing too with that, just like through particle acceleration, using the inside of that as a centrifuge. So we have that particle, Okay? Now we're turning that particle into an actual driver. So we have a thing called kinetic energy. Okay, great. So we're going to harness that kinetic energy and use it to drive a motor, basically, or to spit out a flame, or to broadcast a radio signal. Now I'm going to show you some uploads, and I've done it already. You know, I just keep trying to show them, you know, that way I'm not trying to like wake everybody up or nothing like that. I'm just trying to show people progress. You know, because people start asking questions like, hey, you got this, this, and this. Are you building a bomb? Hey, you trying to, you know, do this? Or, hey, why are you spending so much time on this? It's because I want to. And I have the ability and I have the free time to do whatever I want. Like, hey, why are you taking time off doing this and you're only focusing on that for a week or so? Because I want to. It's what I like doing. If I'm going to live life, I'm going to be doing what I want. Just like if you were to go to some of those bullshit large group awareness programs and like, yeah, you know, this is our 10th anniversary of our, you know, our program. You know, why are you here? Why are you here? You know, you think because your job told you to come here? No, you're stupid. You know, and then they fuck you over like that. Nothing. No. So literally, going back to the plasma thing. So I built a separator here. Okay, running it off of just distilled water and potassium hydroxide. It does produce a lot of heat. Now, what I did not know at this time of making this cell and just playing around with hydrogen is the actual perception of plasma. So when I want to talk about these chains, how is that plasma particle, the electricity, how is that all together in a vacuum? Okay, under a type of pressure, a vacuum pressure. Okay, the particle, let's say like your blood, how it has iron in your blood. You got potassium, magnesium, you got selenium, you got iron, you got hydrogen, you got oxygen, you got nitrogen, you got all these different molecules, atoms and elements inside your blood, okay? And you have blood pressure, just like the vacuum chamber holding that particle in a particle accelerator. That has a lot to do with Earth. Wow, fundamentals, great. Okay, so you're saying I could get this particle here and it's almost just like our body. All right, so how do memory cards work? How do your, like, microcontrollers, how do any of that stuff work? If you were to cut them in half, all they are is just gold or silver or aluminum or platinum or cadmium, you know? Or then you're looking at your lights, you know? Back in the day we had, you know, cathode ray tubes, you know? What was in those? A gas. How did those get charged? Electricity. They ran a charge through it and then you got a picture. Wow. So you're saying that the same thing like how old school TV worked, I can charge the air up in the sky and produce an image just like how that freaking TV was. But how are we going to get it to go possible? You got to synchronize those two frequencies, just like you got that light and that light together, and then you get two little dots. You know, a different type of dot. So this is the dot here, and then you're telling me I want to see something completely different. Exactly, because it's a film in the atmosphere. Oh my gosh. So when the sun hits it with a solar flare, how do you get that particle to charge? It's called ionization. Great, it's a film, it's a barrier, just like the lens right here. How the hell do you think that goes like that? Oh my gosh, it's a lens back. Now, you got your body, okay? It's got all this different shit in it that can be charged. How do you ionize it? Boom! Okay, great. What's another interesting thing about lasers? Gee, Kevin, I don't know. You got it in your pocket right now. It's a fucking cell phone. Okay, great. And how did those work, I just said? Oh, different metals in there. Great. Oh, your phone can show you a picture. Oh, liquid crystal display. Oh, LEDs. LEDs are just the same thing as a fucking solar panel, dude. I'm telling you. So in the same way that it collects a light and gives it a power, you can send that shit in reverse, okay? So there's a way if you can get a capacitor, you know, it's like an insulator. Now they use it with like LEDs and stuff like that. So, not trying to sound like an asshole or anything like that. But literally, I'm trying to get ahead of this fucking game. You know? If you're going to be able to do that, then hey, I want to learn how to do it too. You know? Figure out what the hell that frequency is. And you know what? I'm like this damn close to doing it. And you know, it's not as hard as I thought it would be. You know, I got earth, wind, water, and fire right here. You know? And then I got the seed of life. Great. Now we're getting into cymatics. What is a cymatic? It's a geometrical image of an oscillation or a frequency. Where have I seen this before? Oh, are you in the chakras, sacred geometry, all that stuff? Exactly what that is. Each different frequency will give you a different image. Holy shit. That's cool. If you were to look at color, what is color? Color is an identifying factor. Would you believe it? So, the introduction to color is what? Another level of a frequency. Interesting. So you're telling me if I were to have a light that is this color, if I sped it up, I would get a laser. Absolutely. With a couple different things. So back to the phone. What does a laser and your phone have in common? The signal coming from microwave energy. You know, 5G. Gets your phone somehow, right? You don't see it. If you're seeing all those radio waves, you know, it just look like beams all over the sky. But you don't see it because your eye, the curvature of your eye, see how the light reflects on there? Your eyes do not see the radiation from that yet. But parrots do, birds do, you know. Your camera does, you know. If I were to shine this too long, you know, into it, the reason that you can see most of this beam here, so see those dots that are popping up right there? Like, this ain't healthy for a camera, you know. But see how you got like a wave going on there. Looks like a thumbprint, right? Okay. Let's see if it didn't burn it. Now how you see you got two different lights right there? Okay. So that reflection and that reflection, now we got two different ones on there. Okay. That's where that synchronicity comes in. So what I'm getting at with all this is that I want to be able to manipulate matter. You know, if you're one of those Bible thumpers or diehard Christians, I am, you know, not a person you'd want to be around all day, you know, because you'd be thinking that I'm trying to be godlike or something. I'm absolutely not. I'm just trying to understand my reality, trying to figure out what I want to do with stuff, and having fun with it. For whatever idea that I have, I go with it. You know, I don't care about this or care about that. Money here, money there, involvement, you need to do this and stuff. Why the hell do you think I've had 20 different jobs? You know, it's not so, you know, like, oh, I've got fired. No, I've only got fired for just 2 of those jobs. I work at certain jobs to learn certain differences and stuff. Either the people that work there, how they operate, how the business model operates, and the production of it too. So now, I try, you know, letting other people see this too, like, hey, you know, because I know everybody likes science, you know, it's a natural curiosity. People like math, people like art. Why is there that attraction to those different things? And then you hear raise the vibration, raise your frequencies and stuff like that. Listen to those words. Words. Do you have a voice? No, you don't. How do you get a voice? Boom. It's a vibration of a sound in your lungs. If you had a voice, and if you were to suck in helium, your voice would not change because that voice is not solid. It's a vibration of the air inside of it. So, getting back to that, I stumbled across this. These plasma balls do not seem to have any direct military use, but there was a suggestion that it might be adapted to psychological warfare too. The hissing sound produced by the plasma can be modulated to carry a blurred but understandable signal, a talking fireball. A device was nicknamed Voice of God, apparently a proposal to use it in the 1991 Gulf War, but was not accepted. Sounds like a project that, you know, a kid, you know, didn't have adult supervision. So the technology in 1997 by the Air Force paper, Space-Based Lasers, notes the impossibility of projecting a holographic image. But it does add that in concept of an auditory project, however, is feasible and demonstrated, but probably would not be done from a space-based platform given that the difficulty of controlling the region of air that has to be modified. What they're meaning by that is there are spaces of vacuum. Okay? So there's no really particles in there. Unless you introduce that gas to it. How could I introduce a gas? Well, let's think about this. What is a gas? What is a liquid? What is a solid? It is a state of matter. What is matter? Matter is an atom. What is an atom? Subatomic particles. Okay. What is light? Photons. It's what? A particle. A light particle. So you mean to tell me that my phone can get a signal coming from a laser that we can't see into the phone? That can't happen. But you want this light, so a normal little light like this, absolutely. You know, it dissipates. You know, it's got a broader span and it has dissipation. But if you were to focus that damn thing and aim it through, you have that possibility of that information carrier to actually get through that space. So now, I'm not knowing if they got it up there or not. I don't know. But I'm just trying to explain the tech and the steps that go through this. So let's just say that this is possible. And now we're also going to say that it could not be possible. The possibility of it could not be possible is that there is no medium for that to get through. Correct. Okay. If we want something to get through that, you would have to introduce some type of beam, some type of acceleration, some type of inertia to get it to the object that you wanted to go to. Now, it is starting to sound more feasible. Okay, so now we sped up this light into the speed of this. Okay, now it has the potential acceleration to get to the lens to split it. Okay, so now that information now has a carrier. What is the cool thing? So if that 5G energy, you know, wasn't dialed in just right, you would die. You know, you would be hit with fucking gamma rays and X-rays and alpha rays and shit. No. The synchronicity. So picture singing. If you're singing along with somebody and someone's got a hum, then you go, ah, and you get the two together, you go, hum. That harmony between the two, that's the marriage of the sounds. Same thing with this now. So you get A and B, and what is A plus B equals C? Boom. So, with my my hydrogen separator, and then I'm basically going to be getting the sound to be modulated through my FL Studio, my music program that I've been using for the past 10 years. So, I would post all my music stuff, but I wouldn't post anything about this, because quite frankly at the time, I would think you guys just either wouldn't believe me, you know, or something would happen. I wasn't confident sharing any of the information. Now I am, because I've shown you guys some things. And this is definitely interesting. So everybody knows that collider over there at CERN. Guess how many particle colliders there actually are? Yes. 10, 20, 50. There are over 20,000. Over 20,000 particle colliders, and you can make a simple one. You know, it's just, you can make it, it's nuts. But when you start putting ingredient A with ingredient B, then you get a cookie. Well, if I add another little ingredient to it, then I have a cake. Now if I get a whole bunch of cakes, now I got a wedding cake that symbolizes something. Okay, so I went from cookie, great, to a cake. Here you go, thank you, it's my birthday. Boom, now we layered it, now I got a wedding cake that we're gonna take pictures of and spend $10,000 taking pictures of. And we're gonna remember for the rest of our life. Okay? So, yeah, this goes to another part too, about that manipulation part too. So just as that light beam carries, you know, we have that frequency inside of our body. And if you get somebody who is smart with money and with influence, and they say, "Here, here's $10 million, go do this. You know, here's $1 billion, you know, pay for this." You know, because the money's just like, if the money illusion part right there, it's a piece of paper, it's a debt, okay? I'm not actually having to literally give you my arm or my leg to do something. I can just say, "Here, you know, make up this number, make it happen, because these people that are working for you need that imaginary number to produce this product." Okay, great. So write up a couple pieces of paper saying that this is going to happen because this is what I'm going to produce. And then that's why in finance you have these different tax write-offs and deductions. And why is one of the tax write-offs for information and education? So that little paper trail does not have to exist or be needed, okay? It was never there in the first place. Never there. So, you see, oh, they got $1 billion for that. No, they just got a piece of paper. You know, saying, "Here, go do this." Yeah, we approve it, you know? Yes, you have the credentials. We know you're not going to fuck shit up, so here you go. What do you need to get the people to do that? Okay, boom. I'm just a country boy, you know, grew up out on the farm, you know, moved to a swamp, that moved to the edge of the Gulf, you know. I'm back over here, you know, in farmland again, you know. If I can think of this, who's to say? Now imagine if I had $100 million, you know. I wouldn't be sitting here making this video of you. You'd be watching videos, you know, that other people made of me, you know. But this is how it starts. It's gotta start somewhere, you know. So they always say that hardest step is from 0 to 1, you know. So not 1 to 100. So this is me making that first step. Now here's a cool thing too. When you get good at this stuff, what happens? You become very well known. And then you become that person that someone writes off that check to do whatever you want. This is a whole entire practice that I've been doing since I graduated high school and then went into college. It's not the dollar amount. You know, it's not the money. It's not even so much as, "Hey, I want to try this or like that." It's whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it because I have the freedom to do it. And practicing that freedom is giving me the time to learn stuff like this and put it together, you know? So, and here's another thing too. If anything that I was doing was really fucked up, illegal, or out of this world, or anything like that, I would not be here right now. And you know that. But one interesting thing though is, right when I get onto something or start linking up shit, videos and stuff like that, my phone or my computer or the electronics around me, especially like my projector, because it does broadcast an RF signal, and I'll show that on another video. Or I'll get the spam calls and shit like that. So they're listening through an app because you accept it, you know, through its terms and conditions. We all got to. So they start realizing, hey, this kid's onto something like that. Let's go ahead and monitor him real fast. So that's why you ever see like, "Hey, I had an idea for this," you know. It's like, but now I see it all over. It's like, dang, who had it too? You know? But yeah, force field, like a shield, you know, being able to manipulate the matter. Yeah, that's next. So here comes this too. Holographic avatar, a Sandman, Cymatics, vibration. You got the sand to vibrate, just vibrate the sand underneath your feet. You got a person, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.